only books in the house where I grew up were a big unabridged dictionary, a 28-volume World Book Encyclopedia, and the King James Version of the Bible. The paucity would have been understandable if I'd known that my mother grew up in a house without any books. Her father could read, but her mother was illiterate. Mama seldom spoke about her life as a child. Her focus was on teaching school and sending us to school, even when we were sick. Though she had only 2 years of college training, Mama was a school teacher. Every summer for 14 years, she took classes at Morris College, finally earning her diploma 2 months before my brother, her 5th and last child, was born. To Mama, reading was not for pleasure. Books were a source of knowledge, knowledge that would change your life. For me, books were an escape from a life I could not change. Trapped in a small South Carolina town where the color of my skin barred me from the newly built Carnegie Library on Liberty Street, I reveled in the library on the 2nd floor of Lincoln, the segregated school I attended from grades 7 through 12. My family's tight budget excluded me from the daily hot lunches sold in Lincoln's cafeteria. Each day, after hurriedly eating the bologna sandwich my mother spiced up with hot sauce, I rushed out of the cafeteria and up a short flight of stairs to a place where I could devour as much as I wanted, free of charge. At the top of the stairs, I pushed open the door to a large rectangular room, the mirror image of the cafeteria below, where instead of tables, rows and rows of evenly spaced, honey-colored, waist-high wooden shelves lined with books of all shapes and sizes marched across the room. Sunlight usually flooded the space through windows that covered 3 sides of the room. At the windowless end, behind a low counter made of the same blonde wood as the shelves, sat a middle-aged woman whose round body and sparkly eyes revealed the satiation that comes from many good meals followed by many good books. I wanted a life just like hers. On my first visit to the library, I was overwhelmed by the sight of so many books in one place. I wandered from bookshelf to bookshelf, my neck arched at an awkward angle to read the titles without moving the books from their assigned spaces. The librarian, whom I came to know as Miss Cuthbert, noticed me and called out that it was okay to take books from the shelves. She also said that if I got a library card, I could take up to 6 home each week. I got a library card that very day and thereafter proceeded to spend most of my lunch hour perusing the collection. I devoured the books, the words in those books as greedily as my classmates gobbled cherry cobbler from their stainless steel trays. At the rate you're going, you'll have read every book in the library before you graduate, Miss Cuthbert once told me. That was my plan. Lincoln's library fed my love of words and people when I was too poor to buy books. I lost myself in stories about people whose lives were even more hardscrabble than mine, though some of those lives were far better. Frequently, the bad lives got better. Those were the lives I longed for. Their stories taught me that change was possible, They also taught me that determination and effort were the catalyst for that change. Those stories seeped into my being, assuring me that I would not always be a poor little colored girl living in a separatist world under separatist rules. They also drove me into the arms of learning and became the engine for my journey toward becoming first a librarian and then a writer.